Welcome back to Mod Day Sunday, where I showcase a collection of cool and interesting mods that I recommend that you guys go check out. In today's video, I'm going to showcase you some pretty cool and exciting mods that I honestly think you're going to enjoy. The two mods that I'm going to be showing to you guys today are both physics-based mods for Minecraft, and they also are very CPU intensive in the nature of how physics run. So of course, when running this, it is recommended to use either 𝓵𝓷𝓷𝓼 or even sodium if you really need the FPS, and these are both mods for 1.16.5 for Fabric. Whilst the first mod has actually already been updated to 1.17, the other one is yet to be done. Anyway, the first mod that we're going to be taking a look at today is a mod known as the Physics mod. That you might be familiar with this one based upon a few collection of videos that have been out from earlier this year, but I wanted to showcase it again and give it a bit more light once again. This mod is both available on both Fabric and Forge, with them both being somewhat the same aside from one special feature which we'll get to a little bit later on. Either way, the Physics mod is a mod that is intended to make some more realistic physics become a part of Minecraft. The idea behind it is to make it so that whenever you break a block, instead of it just disappearing into the item form, it will actually crack into multiple pieces. Another little fun thing about this, if let's say you explode an area with TNT, not only will the blocks break, but the particles from these broken blocks will explode everywhere. Now, as you can see from the footage here, it is also very intensive on the CPU of your computer, to the point where you can see my footage goes from being smooth as it can be to just framing and lagging the hell out as we see the particles and pieces of these blocks explode into the air. Which honestly I think just adds to the fun, considering TNT will always lag at your game when there's too much of it anyhow. It just adds to the more of the effect, just the explosions of particles everywhere. The beauty of this though is it doesn't just stop at the blocks that will break into pieces like this. Any form of mobs that you kill will also have a similar effect to it, and this one is also adjustable. You can make it to whether the mob's interiors are red or not. You can even make it so that it only breaks down into a certain block type, so it's only ever going to be squares when it breaks off of a mob. There are also a lot of other micro adjustments that you can actually make with this, a few of them being made to make your performance of your computer not be so hammered when it comes to playing around with this mod. You can also even shrink the size of these pieces to very tiny amounts for, let's say, examples when you're digging straight down. And to add even more to this, another special feature that comes with this mod that used to only be exclusive to the Forge version is the addition of collapsing blocks. Example, if you break down a certain block that has a bunch of other blocks stacked on top of it, it will lead to a chain of more blocks breaking down on top of it and falling down into you. This feature both works in survival and creative, and will also function based upon whatever type of pickaxe you have. As you would see with the footage here, we actually start to splice into our second physics mods of the day, which we'll get to in just a moment. The Physics mod is a mod that is available on CurseForge for both Fabric and Forge. As I said before, it is definitely recommended that you run this with some form of optimization mod, as this mod does run quite heavy on your hardware. Moving into the second mod of today's video, we've got a mod known as Dropz. Now, there are many other mods that are similar in this vein, where they have the more realistic item drop feature. There's quite a few of them around, but this one is different. You see, most mods that come up with this idea that use the more realistic item style things tend to just throw the item onto the floor flat, but this one, it has a lot more physics, collisions, and so much more to what happens after you throw the item, to the point where it can be somewhat entertaining to see what happens. The added beauty of this is it actually changes based upon what type of item you're throwing. It doesn't have just one style of animation and throwing style that fits as all. For example, normal blocks will flow as normal blocks. So let's say you throw something like a bed or something that's flat or weird as shape, it will bounce and react differently to the surroundings than what a normal block would do. Another beautiful thing about this mod is that when certain items that are exactly the same collide, they will fuse into the one item, but will continue to carry whatever momentum was left from the item that flowed into it. Meaning that of course you end up with a screen cluttered with all of one item if they're close enough together, but it won't ruin the effect when they collide with one another. But what adds to the beauty of all this is when you combine both of these physics mods together, you get something that is honestly quite brilliant. The Dropz mod is only available in Minecraft 1.16.5 at this current point in time, and only on Fabric as it requires the add-on Rayon in order to support the physics mod. So hey, did you enjoy this slightly different style of video for the Sunday mod list type video? And yes, the idea does come from Asian Half Squat, so of course gonna give credit back to that one because that's where the ideas for these videos came from. Either way, let me know in the comments, did you enjoy it? Leave a like, make sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys a little later today with the next upload.